So what's going on, folks? So this video is to explain why a coach like this, which is a Vibe Extreme Light, isn't going to be the right type of an RV for a half-ton truck. And I'm not talking about specifically this coach. I'm talking about any coach that's in the weight and length class of this unit. So if we're looking at the numbers of this specific coach, you can see that it has an 8,432 pound gross vehicle weight rating, and that it has a maximum of 2,437 pounds cargo capacity. This unit is going to be roughly 30 feet long. Now, something to note about when you read the stickers in regards to the length of an RV, this really isn't the length. This is more of a model number, even though it's kind of supposed to signify a length. So you would probably see this and go, well, it's 28.7 feet long because it's 287. In reality, the interior space is going to be about 28.7 feet long. The overall length of this trailer is going to be this, usually plus about 4 to 5 feet. So when everything's said and done, you're approaching about 32 feet overall. And let me explain why. So the length on the model number generally indicates just the cabin. It's not indicating the front A-frame of your trailer or everything that hangs off the back of the trailer. And this usually adds about probably 2 feet. So you have, in reality, 4 feet on the front, 2 feet on the back. You have 6 additional feet in addition to the actual body length of this coach. So those are all important things to keep in mind. Whenever you're towing a trailer, remember there are tons of different types of trailers. You could have a utility trailer, you could have a flatbed, you could have a box trailer, cargo trailer, fifth wheel, travel trailer. There's all sorts of types of trailers available. Understanding how they tow and that they all tow differently is vitally important if you want to safely tow with your vehicle. So with a coach this long, roughly 8,500 pounds of weight, why couldn't you tow this with a half-ton truck that's rated at, say, 9,000 pounds, right? It's still under the maximum tow capacity of the truck. Well, let's talk about that. So when you look at a trailer like this Apex Nano, which is a much, much shorter trailer, and you compare it to this Vibe is roughly a foot taller than this Apex Nano, which means you have that much more wind surface area that's going to be hitting your trailer from the side when trucks pass you versus one that's not quite as tall and is slightly shorter. Why this is important is because 1 foot, 1 additional foot of height is a significant amount when it comes to the amount of wind that's going to be pressing up against it from the side, which could in turn cause sway or other catastrophic issues if you're driving in high winds. Now, if either of these were flat trailers, let's say they were simply utility trailers, and let's say you went to the store and you loaded one up with 6,000 pounds worth of bricks. Well, the profile of that type of load is going to be completely different than a hollow box that you're pulling down the road that's essentially a large wall. If you have a flat utility trailer that's approaching your truck's maximum tow capacity with a lot of weight on it, well, that flat utility trailer isn't going to be acting like a wall, first of all, and secondly, all that centralized weight is going to be pushing down on it. So it's also going to help prevent that side-to-side rocking motion, and it's not going to be impacted by wind nearly as much as a coach or an RV like this. Now, I know all sorts of people watch my channel and they make claims that they have certain types of half-ton trucks and they tow very long travel trailers without any issue. And that's completely fine if you're doing that or you're capable or feel comfortable of doing that. But for people who watch my channel who want to get into RVing, I don't want to put them in a situation where they feel just because the truck manufacturer said my truck can tow 10,000 pounds that they can go out and get a 10,000 pound travel trailer. It just doesn't make sense. And you're going to have a very, very white knuckle and dangerous experience when you're towing it. When it comes to using a half-ton truck like this Chevy Silverado Trail Boss with roughly a 9,000 pound maximum tow capacity, you're going to want to be very careful in terms of what you actually put behind this truck from an RV perspective. About as large as I would want to go is something like this Apex Nano, coming in at 6,000 pounds. And as before, when I talked about the length, is 20 feet, 8 inches long from an interior perspective. You're going to be looking closer to about 25 feet total length from an exterior perspective. So that's about the maximum length and weight I would want to go. 25 feet maximum length and 6,000 pounds maximum weight. You could tow virtually any R-Pod just fine, even the longest R-Pods. Half-ton truck shouldn't have any problem towing an R-Pod. Even if you look at a real light like this, you're still looking 4,500 pounds maximum gross weight rating, so this is even fine. So this Apex Nano comes in at about 4,700 pounds. Definitely something you can tow with a half-ton truck, no problem. I would consider this Vibe Extreme Light too heavy. This Puma is definitely too heavy. Let's look at the weight on this one. This one's 7,687 pounds. This thing is definitely a little bit longer and a little heavier than I would recommend pulling behind a half-ton truck. This is 3/4 ton truck area in my opinion. Let's take a look at this Surveyor. So this Surveyor has a gross vehicle weight rating of 7,778 pounds. This is absolutely 3/4 ton space in my opinion. I would not put this behind a half-ton truck. Again, I know people do it, and I'm not criticizing those of you who do. If you feel comfortable towing something this heavy, this long, and this tall behind your half-ton truck, that's entirely up to you. Consider yourself a veteran or an expert in that area, I guess. But in my opinion, I just wouldn't tow anything like this behind a half-ton truck. It leaves way too much room for situations that are going to be difficult to get out of. And if you look at the sticker here, 266, that simply means 26.6 feet from a body perspective. Tack another 4 to 5 feet onto that, you're looking at about 30 and a half, 31 feet long. Now this Puma, I would absolutely not tow with anything other than a 3/4 ton, 1 ton, or even a dually. Mainly because if you look at the weight of this coach, you're looking right at 10,500 pound gross vehicle weight rating. This thing is a very heavy coach. It has 3 slides. The numbers designate that the interior space of this coach is about 32 feet long. So the exterior of this coach, including the A-frame, is going to be about 36 to 37 feet long. Definitely something that you want as much stability, as much natural sway control as possible when towing. I would absolutely recommend a 1 ton or a dually if you're going to tow something like this. Just the hitch weight alone is going to be over 1,000 pounds. Anyways, guys, figured I would do a quick video on this topic because a lot of people ask me all the time if they think their half-ton truck is capable of towing a certain type or certain model of travel trailer. And I just want people to be warned that travel trailers aren't flat utility trailers. They're not boats. They're not cargo trailers. They're completely different in terms of how they're balanced, how they're weighted, where things are placed inside of them. They're essentially hollow boxes with walls that you're driving down the road, and they are very susceptible to wind, sway, and all sorts of natural elements. So I want you to keep that in mind anytime you're looking at trying to determine what type of travel trailer you should tow with your truck. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. In my opinion, half-ton truck with max tow packages, I would keep your travel trailer under 6,000 pounds. I would not go heavier than that, and I would keep the overall length, when everything is said and done, to under 28 feet. I think if you stick with those numbers, you'll feel much more confident towing your trailer behind your half-ton truck. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you again very soon.